Hello?
Hey, it's me. I know you wanted me to get paper towels. Did you want me to get the kinds with, like, the chickens and ducks on them, or...?
I'll let you make that call, babe.
Okay, I won't let you down.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you too.
Bye.
Hey, Karen, wait.
Yeah?
I've been thinking about this, whole automatically saying I love you at the end of phone calls thing. I was wondering if we could drop it.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we know how we feel. We don't say it at the end of every call.
So you want to stop saying I love you?
Well, technically, we don't say I love you now. I mean, we've got it down to, like, love you. And, you know, it's almost gone already.
Oh, so we're talking about just dropping the I love you just at the end of phone calls.
For now.
You know what? It's not a bad idea, because when we actually do say it, it'll mean that much more.
Exactly. I mean, it'll really pop. It'll almost be shocking.
Okay.
All right.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello?
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say I love you.
And I love you too.
All right.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
People ask me, do you think God has a sense of humor? Yes, he has a sense of humor. He invented marriage. He said, I'm going to take these two people with entirely different spirits, entirely different brains, totally different frequencies in their functioning, and I'm going to make them one. So he made Adam first from the dust of the earth. He made man, and then he took a rib, right? Took a rib from man and made woman. And obviously that was the rib that we used to use to read minds. Lori and I figured it out. We figured out what the source of conflict is. We know what causes the two of us to fight. It's me. I remember the first fight I caused. It was right after we got married. And I wanted to go out with the guys, just me and the guys, out like we used to. And she wanted me to stay there with her and cut the cake and throw the bouquet and all that stuff.
Now, not only does this affect the way that we respond in stress and stuff, the way our brains are wired also affects the way that we use words. Okay? Men tend to use less words than women. That's because the women have all the wires they're trying to connect, and they've got to explain each and every connection. Now, they say that if a man needs to speak 10,000 words in a day, a woman needs to speak 20,000. My wife says, that's because we gotta repeat everything we say. To which I responded, huh? Where is my darling redhead? Is she around? Come up, I want you to meet my wife, Debbie. Come on up here and just... People say, well, doesn't she talk too? Nope. Not to you anyway. She talks to me, but she won't talk to you because she doesn't want to talk to you. That's all. Where's my tablet? I want to show you something about the whole words thing. You know, they actually measured this. They went in and studied children and babies and found out, they actually went and took cameras and put them in nurseries and analyzed the pictures later. And they noticed the pictures of the little girls. Right from the get-go, their mouths are just going. It's true. It's true. And then they analyzed the pictures of little boys, and they're just... They're still thinking, what was that? I want to go back. I don't get it. Okay? Then they went and they recorded conversations of little boys and girls on playgrounds. And they went back and analyzed them. And they discovered that little girls loved to talk. They were very articulate, loved to use full sentences, just loved to talk. And if they didn't have anybody to talk to, they were perfectly content to talk to nobody. And they were just just complete sentences. Then they analyzed the conversations of the little boys, and only about 55% of it was intelligible. I couldn't understand what they were saying. You know, just like, that's conversation to a man, okay? Now, not only do we use different amounts of words, words can mean different things to men and women. For example, now, to most men, 5 minutes means 5 minutes. To a lot of women, it can be an indefinite period of time. Are you ready yet? 5 more minutes! As we discussed, men understand nothing. Women don't understand the significance of nothing. If a woman says nothing, look out, it's something. Oh, dude, man, I don't know what happened. What happened? I don't know. I asked my wife what she was upset about. What'd she say? Well, she said nothing. Get out of the house, man! Run now! Get out! Now, this is not a word, it's a vocalization. It's a sigh. Now, when a man sighs, it means everything is good with life. When a woman sighs, it means you are an idiot. Now, when a man says, go ahead, he's being polite. When a woman says, go ahead, she's giving you the opportunity to explain whatever stupid thing it was you just did. But you need to be very careful in the explanation because it's very likely to be followed by a sigh. Which will lead to an argument over nothing. And then you ain't gonna have sex again for at least 5 minutes.
I do love her, and I think one of the reasons we've stayed together for a long time is because she's a woman and she understands men. And she understands that me being a man, I don't possess that gene that tells me when to shut up. Guys, you ever been talking to your wife, your girlfriend, all of a sudden you're in trouble and you have no idea why? I'll tell you why. It's because we have said something we don't realize we've said. Because it didn't go through the shut up filter. My wife is as cute a woman as there can ever be on this planet. And she went to the hair salon one day and they cut her hair and gelled it. And it looked so hot. And she came home and she goes, you like my hair? And I said, oh, baby. I go, your hair looks fantastic. And her eyes lit up. And a smile came across her face. And my brain's thinking, oh, nice one, Bill. We're going to get sex tonight. Now, just shut up. And my brain goes, how'd they get that greasy look in it?
Sometimes my wife gets mad at me for behaving wrong in her dreams. That ain't fair. I had a horrible dream last night. You want to hear about it? No, I'm going to tell you anyway. A grizzly bear was chasing me through the woods with his teeth. He was going to eat me. And you did nothing. You just sat there and you didn't do a thing. What was I doing? You were playing poker with a rabbit. That's what you were doing. And that's the thing. You would do something like that. You would play poker with a rabbit while I was being eaten by a bear. Luckily, a giant unicorn came and saved me with his laser horn. That's how I saved, not by you.
Men's brains, women's brains. It also affects not only the words we use and stuff, but also it affects how we listen. You go, yeah. Women listen. But we listen too, we're just different. A lot of women say, you know, men's problem is they got selective listening. You know what that is, right? That's when the wife will say something like, honey, go to the store, lay down the mulch, wash and wax the car, get the kids at school, rent some videos, and finish the rest of the dishes. And then he runs that through his selective filter. And all he hears is, honey, go lay down and get some rest, okay? But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm really talking about is the difference between single tasking and multitasking. By and large, again, interpolate for your relationships. Again, not everybody's the same way, but by and large, men are single taskers. We do one thing, and we do it pretty well. Women can handle lots of things. Guys aren't wired that way. That's why it's not a good idea to put a man in charge of more than one kid at a time. You know, we can handle the one. Well, sweetheart, you're doing such a good job with Johnny. Wow. Well, where are the rest of the kids? We got other kids? But man, we just I'm a classic single tasker. I'm so bad, I'll be going along and I'll forget the one thing I was doing. I'm completely lost. I need to reboot my brain. Say, whoa, where am I? You know. But men, generally speaking, we do it. Now, what we do very well. One of the reasons that men are so good at what they do is because of this ability to completely focus on just one task. Men usually will rise to the top of any profession, even those dominated sometimes by women. The best hair designers in the world, a lot of times, are men. Best cooks in the world, men. Why is that? Because we have this unique ability to focus on just one thing and do it extremely well, okay? Women are wired differently. You know, they're just and you know, my wife can be, you know, in the living room, watching TV, reading a book, making knickknacks, and talking on the phone all at the same time. It's just amazing to me. Of course, I'll come in and I'll assume she's not watching TV. Hey! What? I was watching that! How can you be watching that? You're making knickknacks and such. Put it back! You know. We're just. Now this affects the way that we listen, because when a man is doing something, he generally cannot hear anything. It's just true. Women are not like that. Women can be doing lots of things and holding 3 different conversations. Just, you know, she'll walk into a room and she'll see her husband reading the newspaper. And she assumes, I multitask. Therefore, he must multitask. But he's running the newspaper reading program, and he can only run one program at a time. He's not hearing jack. And this makes women very angry. But you just need to come over and you got to close the newspaper reading program. You got to load the Listen to Me program. But you got to wait a minute. He needs to reboot. I didn't know you was here. You know? You laugh, but I'm serious, girls. If you see a man doing something, unless he's wired differently, do not be giving him vital information. Because this is a train wreck waiting to happen. You'll have this conversation again. When you swear he told you, and he swears you never told him. You know you told him, but in his brain, you never said jack to him. The problem here is, guys, we get ourselves in trouble because men have this natural defense mechanism that at all costs, do not stop doing what you're doing. So when someone starts talking to you, we automatically have this defense mechanism that goes, uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And we keep doing what we're doing, and we're not, and she thinks you're listening to her. But you're not listening. You need to stop what you're big boys, stop what you're doing, turn to the girl and pay attention to her. So it's not all on the ladies. You're big boys, when she starts talking, stop! Listen to the girl and then let him go back to what he was doing. Sounds fair, right? Well, I started doing this, and I thought, this is great. I'm doing a lot better. I'm watching the single tasking. Yeah, okay, what? And I'll say, I didn't hear that. And I'll make her back up, and she'll tell me the info, and I got it. Okay. And I thought I was doing a lot better, but still I was getting myself in trouble. She'd walk up and say, it's 6 o'clock, are you ready? For what? That happened to half you guys tonight, right? We're doing what? I told you. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. And off to the races we would go. And I thought, man, what in the world? Because I'm watching this single tasking. I don't remember her saying anything about it. And I thought I was losing my hearing. So I went to a doctor. True story. I went to the doctor. And I walked in. He said, well, how you doing? I said, I'm okay. He said, what seems to be the problem? I said, well, I think I'm losing my hearing. And he says, well, you're getting up there in age, Ears are one of the first things to go. And I said, well, that's one of the first. I can handle that. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But, so I said, well, go over to Nurse Cratchit. She'll test your ears, And so I follow the lady, and I walk into this room, and they got this cheap box on a table with some real chintzy headphones. And she says, all right, now, put on the headphones. When you hear the beep, raise your hand. If you don't hear the beep, don't raise your hand. Apparently, I look really stupid. So anyway, I turned around and we began. As pretty soon she goes, really, you can hear all that? And I turned around and said, yeah, why? She's hitting the box. I don't know, piece of junk. What's the matter with this thing? So what's the problem? She said, according to this, you can hear what cats and dogs can hear. I don't know what to... She's hitting the box. She says, I'm going to send you to a specialist. You ever been to the specialist? They got this Yo Mama soundproof room, the thick door, You got the person, sitting behind the glass, you feel like you're in a people aquarium. Sir, would you sit down? But anyway, so at the time we lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and right downtown Green Bay, there was a place called Eye and Ear Associates. I'd never heard of them before. I had no reason to hear from them. But she said, I'm going to send you these people. They have all this fancy equipment. And so she takes the doctor's pad and she writes Eye, Ear, and she abbreviates Associates and hands it to me. I said, what kind of doctor is this? true story. She says, what do you mean? I said, I heard an eye, ear, and throat. I never heard of this. She said, let me see that. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. So she wrote out associates. I went, oh, okay. Thought I was going to be in for a very uncomfortable test there for a minute. So I go to the eye, ear, and, doctor, and I get in there and I sit down, and she's behind the glass, and she has to push the button to talk. Okay, now put on the headphones. When you hear the beep, spin around, and we began. I kid you not, she goes, really, you can hear all that? I felt like a moron, all right? I take the printout to the specialist. He goes, what are you doing here? You got better ears than me. I said, I don't know, man. She says, are you ready at 6 o'clock? I just already saw it. Go get it. So I come back from my ear thing. She said, well, what did they say? I said, well, they said I can hear what cats and dogs can hear. She says, well, it's not your problem. Your problem is just don't pay attention. And I thought, but I've been paying attention. I was watching the single tasking thing, and so I thought, I'm going to do a test. I want to see how far she gets away before I can't hear her. So the next day we're sitting in the kitchen, and she comes up, and she's talking to me, la, 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 and I go, uh-huh. And then she walks a little bit further away. She says, la, 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 la. I go, okay, I can hear that. And she gets a little further away, la, 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 just doing multitasking thing. Then she goes into the living room, la, 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 la. And now she goes into another room. She's now on the other side of the house, still talking to me. I said, hey! She yells back, what? I said, I'm on the other side of the house. She goes, you don't listen anyway. The next day, I caught her. This time she goes upstairs. She's on another floor, still giving me vital information. That's when it started dawning on me. Wait a minute. We might single task, but these women so multitask, they just keep doing what they're doing, and whether or not you're in the same area code is irrelevant. Irrelevant. That's the word. I had a guy the other day says, my wife's like that. She'll be talking to me. She's by the dryer, and she'll be telling me something important. La 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 la. And then she'll stick her head in the dryer, reaching for something. La 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 la. And boy, you better do that, or you're gonna be in big trouble. She still does that to me. We'll be like a real busy highway, just all kinds of noise, and she'll be talking. Something that's really important. So you better be careful about it. What? I didn't hear what you said. Laws of physics, girls, it applies to you. It would help if your husband was in the same area code. Okay. Now, I first shared this story at a men's conference that I was speaking at, and I thought it was just a funny story that had happened to me. But as I'm sharing it, all these men's heads are going. I had one guy come up to me afterwards. He says, Pastor, I'll be in the bathroom. The door is closed. The fan is on.
There's tile everywhere, so sound just bounces around in there. I'm standing there. All I can hear is the sound of rushing water. And she's still talking to me!
You know, I figured out that's why we miss sometimes, girls. What? What? Another mystery solved. Girls, don't be so multitasking that you're doing a gazillion things giving him vital information. All right? And especially if he's doing something. I'm telling you, this simple thing that I'm talking to you creates more arguments and more frustrations in marriages, and we're fighting over nothing. Well, you know you're really married to a multitasker when during a moment of intimate passion, she suddenly blurts out,
Oh, by the way, the plumber says the toilets are broken.
focus, woman, focus! But man, she can make love to you and plan next week's dinners and, think about the toilets. Oh, it's all the same to her.